Okay. Oh my god. Alright, and nothing happened. Disregard what you might have seen. Hello. This is Jake Light, Gaming Lawyer Service. Well, once again, back with another stream today. I'm sorry I'm late today. Weird dream. I think it's because I played too much Ghostwire, maybe. Yeah, sometimes my dreams becomes a game themselves, and when they do become games themselves, they are wild. They are very wild, and it mixes in with my reality, or my memories. So you can expect how weird a dream where it is like Ghostwire, but then it's not exactly like Ghostwire, where I jump around like a maniac and shoot things out of myself, and as well, it's not just Ghostwire. There are like JRPG elements into that, so very weird, and because of the weather, so nice and so cold, I just don't want to get out of my bed, and yeah. But I managed to do a lot of things once I woke up. I had to make this, make that, create this, edit that, respond to this, respond to that. But no, it's okay. I think we're on track to do this. But yeah. Well. Anyhow, hope everyone is having a good morning or a good afternoon or good evening or good night. We're going to be sleeping soon. Hope you are going to have a good rest, and see you when I see you, right? And yeah, today we will be doing live seminar again, which I always call it legal investigations. Today we'll be trying to examine the YouTube policy in regards to how they deal with copyrights, and as well as before that, we'll learn a bit of how copyright works in very basic understanding. But yeah, before all of that, and yeah, I will be doing some French practice as always. Okay. Oh no. All right. Good. So without further ado, because we're very late, I'll leave the introductions as short as now. All right. Okay. Let's move on. Oh no. No. I said move on, but I totally did not do this. Okay. I think everything is in order. Okay. Nothing is weird. Right. Okay. Oops. Sorry you have to see that. There's a lot of me, but it's okay. It's only just me. Okay. So, okay. I'm not. Yeah, I had to do this so quickly. You know. All right. Can't see anything. Okay. Well, now. Okay. Duolingo. Right. So we start with some Duolingo, and then we'll move on. Okay. Name is Mary. Isabelle. Right.
Louis est mexicain.
Louis est mexicain. Je m'appelle Marie.
Je m'appelle Duo.
Actually, why duo? What's the significance of duo? I mean, I know bilingual. Is it a reference to bilingual rather Duo is two in a way, I think. Maybe. Je m'appelle
Un homme
Duo.
américain. Un
Homme
homme américain.
américain. It's duo américain. Duo est américain.
Excuse-moi, tu parles français?
Tu parles français. Comment tu t'appelles? Oh, comment t'appelles-tu? Comment
Un homme mexicain.
non mexicain? Et d'anglais? D'anglais.
Marie parle français.
Marie parle français. Excuse-moi. Comment tu t'appelles? Comment, what was it? Comment t'appelles? Comment parles-tu français? Right? Yeah, I learned.
Elle est anglaise.
Elle est anglaise.
Duo est américain.
Duo est américain. Duo is American. Is the owl American?
Alice est américaine.
Alice est américaine. Alice est américaine.
Marie parle anglais.
Marie parle anglais.
Sophie est anglaise.
Sophie est anglaise.
Duo parle français
Duo
et anglais.
parle français et anglais. Really? I mean, Duo I never heard Duo speak anything though.
Comment tu t'appelles?
Comment tu t'appelles? Oh, I keep forgetting.
Excuse-moi, comment tu t'appelles?
Comment tu t'appelles? Comment tu t'appelles?
Comment tu t'appelles?
Comment tu t'appelles? All right. All right.
Ses parents sont amusants.
Ses parents
Ses parents
sont amusants.
sont amusants.
Les femmes anglaises.
Les femmes. Les femmes.
Les femmes anglaises. Les femmes
Femmes.
anglaises.
Les femmes anglaises. Les femmes anglaises. Ou
La femme et ses bébés.
the woman and her baby.
Ils sont très intelligents.
Ils sont très
Ils sont très intelligents.
présents. Très intelligents. Ils sont très intelligents. Tes parents sont ici.
Les femmes mexicaines.
Les femmes mexicaines. Tes frères.
Les filles mexicaines.
Mes filles mexicaines. Les filles.
L'homme et ses bébés.
The man and his babies.
Tes frères.
Tes frères.
Les hommes contents.
The man. The happy man.
Elles sont mexicaines.
Sont mexicains. Mes parents sont intelligents.
Mes parents sont contents.
Mes parents sont contents.
Le bébé mange le
The
livre de ses parents.
baby is eating the book of his parents.
Mes parents sont intelligents.
Les parents sont intelligents.
Ils sont contents.
Ils sont contents.
Mes frères sont
Mes
amusants.
frères sont amusants.
Mes filles sont anglaises. Mes filles sont... Mes
Mes
filles
filles
sont
sont anglaises.
Les filles anglaises.
Les filles anglaises.
Les femmes anglaises.
Les femmes sont anglaises.
Les femmes anglaises.
Anglaises. Les femmes anglaises. Okay. I feel like this is my first time listening to this. I've done this so many times. Les femmes anglaises.
Les filles mexicaines. Les filles mexicaines.
Les filles mexicaines. Alright. Alright. Done with that. We're gonna move on to the new lesson. Bonjour, enchanté. Où habites-tu? Comment tu t'appelles? Je peux être à Paris ou où habites-tu?
Hélène vient de France. Maintenant, elle habite à Montréal. Elle
Dans une ville québécoise. Excusez-moi, parles-tu anglais? Oui, je parle anglais et français.
Alice aime ce restaurant québécois. Elle mange une poutine pour le déjeuner. La poutine de ce restaurant est délicieuse.
Petit?
Alice aime ce restaurant québécois. Elle mange une poutine pour le déjeuner. La poutine de ce restaurant est délicieuse.
Pour un plat québécois. Parles-tu espagnol? Non. Il parle espagnol. Parles-tu espagnol aussi?
Où êtes-vous?
Where are you? Les enfants, êtes-vous? Alice, où êtes-vous? Êtes-vous? Children, where are they? Alice, where are you?
Alice et Marie, êtes-vous québécoises?
Where are you? The children, where are you? Alice, where are you? Yeah, weird. Alice and Mary, are you Québécois? Do you speak Spanish? Parles-tu espagnol?
Alice, es-tu québécoise?
Alice, are you Québécois?
Habites-tu avec ta famille?
Habites-tu
Habites-tu avec ta famille?
Habites-tu avec
Habites-tu avec ta famille?
ta famille? Habites-tu avec ta famille? Where are you now? Where is... Ooh. Sont... Où es-tu? Où es-tu maintenant? Où es-tu? Oh yeah, damn it.
Habites-tu en France maintenant?
Habites-tu en France maintenant? Oh yeah. Es-tu professeur?
Parles-tu espagnol?
Parles-tu espagnol? Alice, es-tu québécois? Oh, RE. Do you live in Brazil now? Habites-tu en Brésil maintenant? Habites-tu au Brésil? Brazil is masculine, so use all to mean in or to. Where are you now? Où es-tu maintenant?
Habites-tu en France maintenant?
Habites-tu en France maintenant? Habites-tu au Brésil maintenant? All right. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Oops. Boom, 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 boom. Oops. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. I'm gonna have used my phone. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right, let's do it. Four more lessons. Au revoir. Parlez-vous espagnol, monsieur? Je suis à la gare. Non, madame. Parlez-vous français? Pour. Es-tu ici? Pourquoi es-tu ici? Why are you here? Bonjour, madame. Bienvenue. Bonjour, parlez-vous anglais? Parlez-vous anglais?
Cher Marc, ce voyage est très intéressant. Je suis à Paris maintenant. Après, je vais à Rome. Aimes-tu les voyages?
Oh, yo.
Travaille-t-elle à Paris?
Are they working in Paris? Es-tu québécois? Es-elle québécoise? Es-tu québécoise?
Pourquoi travaille-t-elle
Pourquoi?
ici?
Why are they working here? Marie, tu parles français? Alice et Louis, parlez-vous français? Français? Pourquoi? Et pourquoi? Why is she here? Pourquoi? Pourquoi? Elle ici? Pourquoi elle ici?
Travaille-t-elle dans une usine?
Do they work in a factory? Do you speak French? Parles-tu français?
Un voyage intéressant.
Un voyage intéressant. Why do you like Paris? Pourquoi aim? Pourquoi tu aim? Pourquoi tu aim to? Le pays? Pourquoi tu pays? Okay. To aim Paris. So you don't have to. Cities don't need any le or la. Okay, understand.
Où est-elle?
What?
Où est-elle?
Où est-elle? Do you like this trip? Où est-elle? Do you like this trip? This trip. C'est voyage. Aim to ce voyage. Oh yeah.
Pourquoi est-elle ici?
Pourquoi est-elle ici? Why is she here? Pourquoi est-elle? You all right? Do they work in Paris? Travaille elle à Paris? Travaille elle? Travaille elle à Paris? Why do you like Paris? Pourquoi aimes-tu Paris? Do you like this trip? Aimes-tu ce voyage? Aimes-tu ce voyage? Very good. 3 more lessons. Marie et Julien, êtes-vous belge? Amir et Chloé, où sont-ils maintenant? Ils sont au travail. They are working. They are at work.
Sont-ils ici?
Are they here? Antoine est bon. Antoine est bien. Où travaillez-vous? Where do you work? Hospital. When? Quand? Quand vas-tu à Paris? When are you going to Paris?
Julia est belge. Elle va à Paris en train. Il y a un garçon gentil dans le train. Il parle beaucoup. C'est un voyage intéressant.
Julia parle avec un garçon.
Julia est belge. Elle va à Paris en train. Il y a un garçon gentil dans le train. Il parle beaucoup. C'est un voyage intéressant.
Parle avec un garçon.
Julia est belge. Elle va à Paris en train. Il y a un garçon gentil dans le train. Il parle beaucoup.
Oh, ok. Il y a un garçon. Il y a son garçon. Quand vas-tu à Rome? Toi, tu vas souvent en Europe.
Est-il ici aujourd'hui?
Is he here today? Oh, où vas-tu? Oh, tu vas loin? Very far.
Travaillez-vous ici?
Travail. Oui.
Travaillez-vous ici? Travaillez-vous ici?
Travailler. Oui, travail. Travaillez-vous? Travaillez-vous ici? Do you work here? How are you? Ça va bien?
Pourquoi travaillez-vous?
Pourquoi travaillez-vous? Why are you working? Why do you work? Where are they? Où sont-ils? Où sont-elles?
Est-il belge?
Est-il belge? When do you work? Quand travaille. Tu? Quand travaillez. Oh, quand travaillez-vous? Is he Belgian? Is he Belgian? Est-il belge?
Il.
Il n'y a pas avec garçon. Julia spoke with a boy. 2 more lessons. Quand travailles-tu? Or when do you work? Every day.
Cette semaine.
This week. Où travailles-tu? Where do you work? À Paris.
Étudiez-vous à l'université?
Do you study in university? Do you study at the university? Il y a une femme dans le salon. There is a woman in the living room. Qui était? Où is she? Prends-tu le train ce matin? Did you take the train this morning? Or do you take the train in the morning. But no, not in the morning. This morning. You take train very often. You took the train often. You often
Marc
took the train.
étudie à New York. Il prend le métro tous les
Marc est
jours.
son professeur. Où vas-tu cette semaine? Yeah, demain tu vas à New York. Where are you this week? Tomorrow you are going to New York.
Où prends-tu le train?
Où prends le train? Where are you taking the train? Où prends-tu le train? Where are you taking the train?
Pourquoi étudiez-vous?
Pourquoi étudiez-vous? Why are you studying? Are you working now? Travaillez-vous maintenant?
Où prenez-vous le bus?
Ou prenez-vous le bus? Do you often take the taxi? Prenez-vous souvent le taxi? No, not that point. It's prends-tu souvent le taxi or prenez-vous souvent le taxi? When do you take the subway? Quand prenez-vous le métro? Do you study at the university? Étudiez-vous à l'université? Étudiez-vous à l'université? Who are you? Qui es-tu? Es-tu? Qui es-tu? Or qui êtes-vous? Where are you this week? Où es-tu cette semaine? Où es-tu semaine? Où êtes-vous? Où êtes-vous? Right, one more lesson. Je vais au cinéma ce soir. Avez-vous un jardin? No, I'm going to the cinema this evening. Ah, yeah, really? With who?
Avez-vous un problème?
Do you have a problem? Je vais au cinéma samedi. Ou avec qui?
Habitez-vous ici?
Habitez-vous ici? Well, do you live here? Vous avez un chat? You have a cat? Avez-vous un chien aussi? Do you have a dog as well?
Où habitez-vous?
Où habitez-vous? Where do you live? Quel âge ont-ils? Mes frères, ils sont 2 ans. How old are they? My brothers, they are 2 years old.
Elsa habite dans un immeuble. Elle a un problème. Son voisin,
Son
Parle-t-il
chien
avec Paul?
parle-t-il avec Paul? Are they speaking with Paul?
ont-ils une voiture?
Ont-ils... Wait, ont-ils... wait,
Ont-ils une voiture?
ont-ils une voiture?
Ont-ils une voiture?
Voi-
Ont-ils une voiture?
voiture?
Ont-ils une voiture?
Not voix. Voy, not voy. It's voix. voiture. Alright, voiture.
Parle-t-il français?
Do they speak French?
Ont-ils des enfants?
Ont-ils des enfants? Do they have children? Are they speaking with Paul? Parle avec Paul? Do you live with your children? Do you live with your children? Habitez-vous avec des enfants? Des enfants? Habitez-vous avec vos enfants? Right. Habitez-vous avec vos enfants? Do they have a car? Do they have a car? Ont-ils une voiture? Do you have a problem? Do you have a problem? Avez-vous un problème? Avez-vous... Oh. Who is she with? Qui? Avec qui? Wait. Avec qui? Qui avec qui? Avec qui? Elle? Est-elle? Avec qui est-elle? Avec qui est-elle? Do you have a problem? Avez-vous un problème? So many different ways to say the same thing. Right, we've done one more level. Now we're going to be moving to stories now. The reservation.
La réservation.
This music is so calming. Reservation. The reservation.
Béa et Lynn sont dans un restaurant.
Bea and Lynn is in the restaurant.
C'est joli ici.
C'est joli ici. What is that? It is lovely here. Joli. Julie.
C'est joli ici.
C'est joli
Bon
ici.
anniversaire, Béa.
Happy anniversary, Bea. Bon anniversaire.
Bon anniversaire, Béa.
Bon anniversaire, Bea. It's Bea's birthday. Oh, this is birthday. Okay then.
Bienvenue.
Bienvenue. Bienvenue. Welcome.
Bonsoir. J'ai une réservation pour deux.
Good evening. I have a reservation for two.
Oui. Votre prénom?
Your name. Votre prénom. I really want to know Lynn's name.
Lynn.
Ah oui. Votre table est ici.
Votre table is. Votre table ici.
Votre table est ici.
Votre table ici. Votre
table est ici.
Votre table ici. Table ici.
Oh. C'est très cher, Lynn.
C'est très cher, Lynn. This is very expensive, Lynn. What does beer mean? The food costs a lot of money.
Oui.
Oui.
Tu veux manger quoi?
What do you want to eat? Why do you want to eat here? Is it? What do you want to eat? Well, quoi is why. What is quoi? Okay.
Une salade?
Une salade.
Quoi?
What?
20 € pour une
How much is this? 20 euros. 20.
20 euros pour une salade
20. 20.
20 euros pour une salade
20 euros pour une salade.
Je voudrais un bon...
Je voudrais un bon. I would like a good
verre d'eau.
glass of water. Verre d'eau.
Moi, je veux une salade.
Me, I would like a salad.
Et une pizza.
And a pizza.
Une bière.
And a beer.
Dans un restaurant pas cher.
In the restaurant. And restaurant. Wait, in the restaurant is not expensive? In a cheap restaurant.
Béa, c'est un jour important.
C'est un jour important. Yeah, this is an important day.
Oui, mais le restaurant n'est pas important.
Yes, but the restaurant is not important or...
Ouf, très bien. J'ai très faim.
Oof, very good. Phew. I'm very hungry. Très faim. Okay.
Ouf, très bien. J'ai très faim.
J'ai très faim. What happened? B and Lee decided to go to a cheaper restaurant. Beer. Beer. Your. Votre. Cheap. Pas cher. Yeah, so cheap is pas cher. Good evening. Bonsoir. To eat. Manger. Okay. Unlocked conversation mode. It is just extra EXP for me.
La réservation. Béa et Lynn sont dans un restaurant.
C'est joli ici.
C'est joli ici. It is lovely here.
Béa.
Happy birthday, Bia.
Bienvenue.
Welcome.
Bonsoir. J'ai une réservation pour deux.
Good evening. I have a reservation for two.
Oui. Votre prénom?
Votre prénom. Prénom. What is your... yes. Your name?
Lynn.
Ah
Lynn.
oui.
Ah, yes.
Votre table est ici.
Votre table est ici. Votre table est ici.
Oh.
Oh.
C'est très cher, Lynn.
C'est très cher, Lynn. It is very expensive, Lynn.
Tu veux manger quoi?
Tu veux manger quoi? What do you want to eat?
Une salade?
A salad?
Quoi?
What?
20 euros pour une salade?
20 euros for one salad? For a salad? 20 euros pour une salade.
Je voudrais un bon...
I would like a good
verre d'eau.
glass of water. Je voudrais un bon verre d'eau.
Moi, je veux une salade.
Moi, je veux une salade.
Et une pizza.
Et une pizza.
Et une bière.
Et une bière.
Dans un restaurant pas cher.
In a cheap restaurant.
Béa, c'est un jour important.
Yeah, this is an important day.
Oui, mais le restaurant n'est pas important.
N'est pas... Oui. Le restaurant n'est pas important.
Oui, mais le restaurant n'est pas important.
N'est pas important.
Ouf, très bien. J'ai très faim.
Ouf, très bien. J'ai très faim. Facile, joli, et pardon, votre beer. Very good. Yay, turned gold. I like gold. Right, so we're set with Duolingo. So we'll be moving on to legal investigations. So let's move on from the sleepy music. Okay. All right. Weird way to start a big investigation, but I guess it's appropriate. Let me set up this thing. Okay. I think we're good. Right. How should I do this? Yeah, I think it's good to learn a bit about, try to refresh what is about copyrights. Right? So everyone, if you're here, you can see my hand is always doing this motion because I'm always like adjusting my my mic stand here. Quite interesting. It is, sometimes it's very accurate, but sometimes it's not. But yeah, hands are right here. Yay. Anyhow, so we'll be learning about some copyrights. Make it super big. Right, about this size or about this size. Copyright basics. For copyright basics, how should I explain this so that it is simple to understand? This is very basic. It might be said very dry in a sense, but in any case, it is a type of intellectual property, meaning to say it is something where a person can have legal ownership over an intangible property, intangible object, such as music, art, and any music, art, and audio, and any visual work, audio visual work. I think that's how you call it. Basically, videos. Right. They are technically not a object. Right. They are not technically something real, but you can own them. And by owning this, by owning copyrights, right? By owning copyright, copyright basics, copyright works is type of intellectual property, meaning say it is something where a person can have legal ownership over an intangible object such as music, art, and visual or audio visual work. By owning copyrights, the person owns the rights to deal with it however they want. etc, sell it, copy it, duplicate it. Copy, duplicate is the same meaning, but yeah, duplicate it, distribute it, modify it, and what else? What would be, yeah, sell it, duplicate, distribute, modify it, and even, yeah. So this is what you can do with them. So suffice to say, sell it, duplicate, distribute, modify it. Of course, there are other things, more specific things, but this is general gist of it. But this copyrights, all right, this copyrights to creative works, right? Because it's only specific to this type of properties. If it's not considered creative work, it is something else. It is not. It is like say trademarks, patents, and a couple of others. And if they are differently categorized, then there are different laws governing around it. But essentially, they all roughly have the same thing: having ownership to a certain intangible object. So copyrights. You not only can own, because you can own copyrights, you can also sell, can be sold, transferred to other legal entities. Or licensed out, right? So you can technically, what do you say? If let's say because most time, but I think we're not really of a issue on, we're talking about YouTube videos, right? But it's not about really selling them or transferring them. Our main concern is, can we use them? Let's just use a different music now. All right, much more appropriate. So, but for our purposes, for YouTube content creation purposes, it is more or less, we need to focus on licenses. So what do I mean by licenses? If the copyright owner, wants to allow people or authorize people to use their creative work, they can choose to quote unquote rent it out, or you can say lend it out, right? Lend out licenses. And licenses are technically, legally speaking, unlimited. You can give out a copyright holder or copyright owner can give out as many licenses as they want. right? So really, there's no, how to say, limit to it, and that is why it's possible for companies to constantly provide sell licenses of, in a way, to a lot of people, for them to use it in their own musicals, in their own entertainment industry or thing like that, such as radios, TV shows, news, cover songs, stage performances, all type of any way to produce that creative work. Yeah, if we're talking about music, of course, that's how you do it. If it's artwork, you can always like allow people to use your artwork in a certain way for certain conditions. But then, as always, if you worded it as I'm only giving you a license to use this in a way, you're not transferring the copyright ownership to another person. Yeah, so you're just giving you still hold the ownership, you still hold the legal ownership, but like a property, like a house, you can let people stay in that house. For our instance, it's more like there's an unlimited amount of people that can stay in your house. They can use your house no matter how many people, because your house is like an infinite size in it. Yeah, what you call the endless bag, the bag of holding? Yes. Anyone that plays D&D would know that reference. Anyway, that's how it works. Okay, but of course, if someone doesn't have license to use, all right, or the copyrights to use a certain creative work, it is called copyright infringement. Don't you just like the word? Copyright infringement. So this is considered a civil wrong. It is illegal, but not criminal. But not a criminal offense. All right, because this is more towards like it's not stealing in a way. It's like you can say it's kind of like stealing, but then I wouldn't say it's stealing. At least in this type of context, right? Normally people would think, yeah, you stealing art and using that art and calling it your own, or using for whatever reason you want to use it. It would mean, yeah, without any connection with the original creative, original author. Yeah, you can technically say it's stealing, but in a way. But for legal purposes, it's not. It is just considered in a way some type of negligence or a breach of contract, even though there's no contract per se. I would say it's because there was no contract. There is no like a direct contract or a parent contract between the original author as well as the person who is using creative works without permission. Is why we have copyright laws, right? Is to protect people from this kind of loopholes, right? So it is a civil wrong, so we can get compensation for it if, let's say, someone commit copyright infringement If you don't comply with whatever the court wants you to do, like say remove the content or pay a certain amount of money, and it will be a criminal offense if you disobey a court order. So that's that, right? But then it is different. It's not really not because you have committed copyright infringement you are doing a criminal offense. No, it's just that you are not obeying a court order in order to compensate or remedy whatever the situation is, right? I think this is pretty much it. So the question now is, how does YouTube deal with copyright infringement? Right? We know that it is illegal, of course, to do anything without any permission. So YouTube, as a platform that hosts millions and millions and millions of videos, how do they deal with it? So we're going to be looking into that, of course. We're going to be looking into how YouTube tells us they deal with it, at least. So, of course, we've read the terms and conditions of YouTube, right? YouTube had this thing called terms of service. I think it's over here. Where can I find it? I'll find it over here. Right, there should be like copyright stuff. So it's not just the policies they have talking about it. They do have it talk. They do talk about it in their TOS as well, right? Copyright, your content and conduct. Okay, you must not submit to the survey that does not comply with this agreement. For example, content you submit must not include third-party intellectual property, such as copyrighted material, unless you have permission from the party that or otherwise legally entitled to do so, right? So you can't use other people's work as your own content. Copyright protection. The TOS tells you that they do protect copyright holders. They do things to prevent people from doing any copyright infringement. So this is them telling you the ways we can do it and the ways you can inform them of any of this infringement. And because they are in the terms of service, they are considered breach of contract if you manage to do anything like that, right? A breach of contract, because they told you that you're not supposed to use any third-party intellectual properties unless you have permission, right? Just gonna highlight this in the TOS, right? Because again, the TOS mentions the policies, the copyright policies. So it is part of the TOS and it is legally binding. Anyone that creates a account is in theory, I would say, or not in theory, debatable, but in theory that you are bound to the legal terms of terms and service, terms of service, right? Why I say that is because depends how YouTube or how Twitch or any other platforms show you the terms and conditions. Do they, before you do anything, or like before you use YouTube or before you register an account to YouTube to use the quote-unquote services, do they show you the terms and conditions? Do they tell you, oh, before you create an account, do you agree to these terms and conditions? If they did that, then it's more likely that it is legally binding. If they didn't, then it's questionable. But it's not 100% to say, yeah, because they didn't show you the terms and conditions, then you are not bound by it. If, like, say, like you have like proof, people they can prove that you have read them, even though you didn't like go in, they didn't tell you to agree to them, like say going to the terms and service and reading like this, right? Me having like video evidence of reading through all these documents technically makes me legally binding, right? Makes me confirms I cannot like use to say YouTube didn't tell me to read it, so they don't have proof. But well, I kind of gave them proof myself that I read their documents, their legal documents. Same goes for Twitch, right? Same goes for any platform that I've read. But yeah, not saying what you should be doing or not should be doing, but yeah, this is how law works in terms of online contracts. So yeah. Anyways, let's go back to copyright policies. So YouTube has rules and policies on copyright. I've flipped through it. It's super short. But I'll see what it does say about copyrights, right? I think it's like mostly telling you very briefly what you shouldn't do, and in general, meaning say you with enough common sense, you would know what not to do and what to do. But yeah, let's see. The first rule of copyright: creators should only upload videos that they have made or that they are authorized to use. That means they should not upload any videos they didn't make, or use content in their videos that someone else owns the copyright to, such as music tracks, snippets of copyrighted programs, or videos made by others users without necessary authorizations. So yeah, this is just the overview. Very, very basic description. This is just them explaining things to you. They are not telling you how they do things or how whatever they deal with a copyright infringement, or how copyright holders should be able to take actions. No, this is just them saying, don't use other people's work if you don't have any permission, if you don't have any authorization. And examples of what there can be are this. Right. All right. Next. What is fair use? So immediately they jump into fair use, because this is the most common thing people try to defend themselves with. Fair use. I can explain this, but let's see how YouTube explain this, as in why it is not allow you to. It's not a good thing to use this. So yeah, apparently YouTube is aware that a lot of people try to use fair use. But okay, fair use is a US law that allows the reuse of copyrighted protected material under certain circumstances without getting permission from the copyright owner. However, fair use is determined on a case-by-case basis, and different countries have different rules about when it's okay to use material without the copyright owner's permission. In the US, works of commentary, criticism, research, teaching, or news reporting might be considered fair use, but it can depend on the situation. So yeah, they're telling you very basic where is fair use. All right. They do have another page for it telling you what is fair use, so we'll look into that before I give my own opinion of everything. So yeah, even though US, so right now they're just saying very simply, US, it is only on US law that fair use is a a thing for you to allow you to use copyrighted works without getting permission, right? Fair use is a law under certain circumstances without getting permission. Reuse of copyright, this is very important, right? Reuse under certain circumstances. They're being quite general about the circumstances. They are just saying But we'll look into that, right? We'll look into what are the circumstances. I previously researched on this, so we can take a look at the exact laws on this. On a case by case basis, different countries have different rules. So this is, don't take this as law, right? This is just them saying this is in general what can be considered as fair use, right? Commentary, criticism, research, teaching, or news reporting might be considered fair use, but it can depend on the situation. Oh wait, oh man, I totally did not change this. Oh, okay. It's not Duolingo anymore. Oh, I forgot. So yeah, commentary, criticism, research, teaching, or news reporting might be considered fair use. Then they say they do have the audio library to help creators use content safely by providing free high quality music and sound effects. So there is this thing, all right, this audio library, which you can access yourself. And the newest thing that they have done is actually, how do you say? They added new music into it. I think they haven't updated their page here, but last week, I think it was last week, a viewer told me that they have added more quote-unquote popular music tracks for you to use. But as far as I can see from the things that they have provided, I don't think it's what people think about when they say popular music, right? The names, at least I don't even though I don't really listen to a lot of popular music, but everyone should be able to should know like who is maybe Katy Perry, who is Taylor Swift, or who is Sam Smith, and all that very, very big famous people. Yeah, they don't have those music. YouTube doesn't have licenses for those music for you to buy them or to get them for free. Yes, so that they do. One more thing is that they do have music for you to buy them. So technically, the quote-unquote popular music isn't free. They just added a more convenience for you to use music that is copyrighted, and you can directly buy them from YouTube, rather than nowadays people most of the time they use music from other sites that say they provide some sort of a license for this music, or they provide quote-unquote copyright-free music for you to use in your content. So yeah, at least with audio library, it is very very low chance, I wouldn't say guarantee or definite, that you will get any sort of a copyright strike or copyright claim, or have their automatic system to accidentally identify your music or your audio having some sort of copyrighted audio. So yeah, so that's that. So what are they going to tell us about fair use? Fair use on YouTube. Fair use is a legal doctrine that says you can reuse copyright protected material under certain circumstances without getting permission from the copyright owner. Right? Very easy, very understandable. I would say most people know what is fair use in like its most definition. Like if people just look at fair use, yeah, fair use on things that are not owned by you means that you are using them without permission. But because of quote unquote you are fairly using them, you are okay. It is not illegal to use them. It's not considered copyright infringement. Except it is. Well, I'll explain. All right. Fair use guidelines. Different countries have different rules about it when it's okay to use material without the copyright owner's permission. Yeah, so different country, different rules. For example, in the United States, works of commentary, criticism, research, teaching, or news reporting may be considered fair use. Some other countries have a similar concept called fair dealing. That may work differently. So there is something called fair dealing, and as far as my research go, UK is fair dealing. They do not have fair use. Malaysia, we have fair dealing as well as fair use. Mixing together. Why? I do not know. But I guess the best of both words combined together makes a better law. Don't quote me on that. Courts look over potential fair use cases according to the facts of each specific case. You probably wanted to get legal advice from an expert before uploading videos that contain copyright protected material. So yeah, they do advise you. I agree to that. Advise people to get an expert. Really, not me. I'm not saying it's me. You can ask me, but I would still tell you to ask someone that is, how do you say, representing themselves as an actual legal practitioner, a lawyer. So go find your local firm or anywhere that you trust or you have contact with. It's convenient for you. Ask them about these sort of things. I would say a good lawyer would not charge you for this kind of quote-unquote consultation unless you ask them, you want to like put on writing that you have relied on their advice and will do accordingly with their advice, right? If that is the case, then it would be fair, it would be reasonable for them to charge you for their consultation fees, because they will be giving you an official professional statement, professional advice on what you must do, and they don't just give it randomly or just in casual opinion or something like that. They do their research. They will have to do their research before giving you such a paid statement, paid advice. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, very good advice, I would say. Also, before I do that, all right, let's say there are 4 factors of fair use. So before I say anything further, of course they're probably going to talk about this, but why this isn't something you should rely on immediately or as your basis of using other people's content is this. Even if, let's say, you are justified in using fair use, all right, please understand this doesn't mean at the very first stages or at the or in YouTube's perspective or in YouTube's perspective at your video is a-okay as long as you think it's fair use. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't mean that your videos is automatically not considered copyright infringement, because to use fair use you can only use it when as a defense. You can only use fair use as a defense. What that means is you can only use this when you are getting sued, when you were sued by someone for copyright infringement. Because for someone to sue you for copyright infringement, they first have to prove that there is such copyright infringement, right? And yeah, I mean, it would be pretty obvious if someone is or isn't committing infringement in this context, right? I would say a lot of videos that do get in trouble with this is pretty a clear-cut case. right? I mean, of course, there are gray areas, but that's another thing. So it would be pretty easy to prove that you are using whatever you're doing is copyright infringement, right? So the hard part is using fair use as a defense. It is not easy, and because this is not a thing that you can say, oh, you can't use this as a quote-unquote shield against lawsuits. Like, oh, you know, if anyone has attempted to take legal actions, they have consulted their lawyers. Their lawyers would have told them, yeah, I don't think they qualify fair use. You can take legal actions against them. You're already in deep shit, right? That means you have to fight a court case. You have to fight a legal. You have to spend time, spend money on a legal action defending yourself, and that is a bummer. That is something you shouldn't think of as a situation that you want to be you want to put yourself in, or worse, it's impossible for you to defend yourself because of the time as well as money involved in this kind of legal action, right? Even let's say you believe 100% that whatever you're doing is fair use, nobody can determine that. No one can say that with authority say that what you're doing is fair use, because the only person that can say that you are using fair use, that whatever you're doing is fair use, is a judge, the court. The court can only determine, after considering all the facts, all the evidence, that whatever you're doing is considered fair use. So really, fair use is not something you can slap on or as in your description or in your video or anything like that to say, yeah, I'm using fair use because this is no. It is always a risk. It is always a risk to use fair use unless you're well prepared to fight against these sort of legal suits, right? Which I would say news companies, journalists, all those sort of places, or like documentaries, people who do those things, make those content for a living, would be prepared to fight against all these things. If your content, if your channel, or whether you stream or whether you upload videos, if that is not the main type of content that you make, it is a very, very difficult argument to make to use fair use. Anyways, let us, all that said and done, let us see what is considered fair use, right? For if nothing, it is useful for us to understand when it is applicable, when it is not applicable, right? Or for anyone that is aspiring to do sort of like educational, artistic, or journalistic, documentary, scientific, anything like that, in that sort of a field, type of content, then yes, you definitely have to be very, very clear what is considered fair use if you are doing those type of content for most of your time, right? You really have to make sure that whatever footage you're using, whatever pictures you're using, whatever music, audio you're using is within acceptable limits of what's considered fair use. All right. So 4 factors. Oh, hello, Free the Role Player. Is fair use be based on what YouTube terms of service or your country's rules? No. YouTube doesn't determine what's fair use. Like I said, it's determined, like they constantly tell you this, right? Let me highlight. Different countries have different rules about when it's okay to use material without copyright owner's permission. At no point YouTube has said anything that they consider what is fair use. They are just whatever this page is just informative. They are not terms, conditions, they are nothing. They are just for you to understand what is copyright in a very general way, right? In a very general way. They don't really quote anything or anything, but from what I can tell, they are very accurate in what they are trying to say. But yes, copyright laws are technically, or not technically, legally speaking, based on whatever laws that is appropriate. But of course, YouTube is a website that is under US. It was made by US company, Google, right? Everything is I think most of its operational works are in US, and the site is it's a US website. I believe all .com websites are in US servers or something like that. I'm not certain about technical details about what is considered a website, from where it is from, in what country, but I'm pretty sure it is. They are governed, at least they are governed under US laws. All right. So, but of course, right? You have to also consider that not all YouTubers, content creators are from US, right? So you will have to consider whatever laws are applicable to you. Even though, let's say, whatever you're doing in YouTube is legal under US laws, it might not be legal under your country's laws. If, let's say, for example, I'm from Malaysia and I'm using YouTube to upload content over there, and so if whatever I do on whatever I upload or whatever I stream on YouTube, it has to be in compliance with US laws as well as Malaysian laws, right? So in our case, we have to comply with both countries' copyright laws, right? Where because the thing is, technically speaking, the videos we made, even though it is on YouTube, if it is proven, it can be found out that these videos were made in a specific country by a specific citizen from that country, those laws are applicable to those people as well. Maybe YouTube won't pursue anything against you, but the local authorities might pursue things against you, right? The local authorities that regulate copyrights or enforce copyright laws, they are the ones who will enforce them, right? They will enforce copyright laws against you. If, let's say, you posted some sort of a Malaysian creative work or Malaysian music, songs, or arts or videos or anything like that, posted on YouTube, and for some reason and somehow YouTube is okay with it, US law is okay with it, but Malaysian law is not okay with it, then if your local authorities found out that you're doing that, you will still be committing copyright infringement in some way in your local country. So that's that. Right. But anyways, thank you for that question. No, thank you for that question. I hope it was satisfactory for you. But yeah. So what are the 4 factors? We're coming back to this one. In the United States, all right? So they are very specific about this. They're only talking about United States. Judges decide what's considered fair use, right? No one else decides what is fair use other than judges. Anyone tell you that you can use fair use is either a lawyer. No one can tell you whether your work is can be considered fair use. If a lawyers tell you something is leaning towards fair use, they are giving you a professional advice. They are giving you a professional consultation on the thing that you're worried about, on the legal matter that you're worried about. They've done their research, they've done their all their stuff, and that's why you pay them for it. And if anything happens, if let's say their advice is wrong, then of course you can take legal actions against your lawyers if they made a mistake in advising you, or you can totally, it's very obvious that they made a mistake, because whatever advice they give you, and if they make you pay it for it, most likely, I hope you have put in writing, right? They have put in writing on whatever advice you have given, right? But of course, this is not a guarantee. Like if let's say you still get you get sued for copyright infringement, even though you have listened to their advice, still have to look into the facts. I know lawyers always say depends. Depends on this, depends on that, depends on this facts, depends on this law. But that is just how laws kind of work, and there's no straightforward answer lawyers can give you unless they know the entire truth, entire facts of whatever you want them to answer, right? If you give them a general question, they will give you a general answer. If you give them a very specific question with details and all that, they can give you a very, very specific answer, right? So there's that. A judge will consider how the 4 factors for fair use apply to each specific case. The 4 factors of fair use are the purpose and character of the use, including whether such use is of commercial nature or is for non-profit educational purposes, right? So I think it's better for us to look into where they are quoting this. And I've actually got this out. I believe it is somewhere. Let me check in my notes. I do have it in my notes. United States, section 107, which is in here, chapter 1. 107, limitations on exclusive rights, fair use. Right. So YouTube is quoting from here, right? YouTube is quoting from here. Section 107 of the US US Code, Title 17 of the United States Code, Title 7 of the United States Code. Okay, that's how you quote it. Section 107. I find it weird, but it's just how US laws are compiled with. I guess US federal laws are compiled with. This is under federal law because it applies to all states of the United States. So, alright, let's just read this quickly. The fair use of a copyrighted work, including such use by reproduction in copies of phono records or by any other means specified by that section for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, including multiple copies for classroom use, scholarship, or research, is not an infringement of copyright. So, yeah. They say a lot of things. I think this is pretty accurate. So they mention all that in brief, at least in YouTube. YouTube mentioned commentary, criticism, research, teaching, or news reporting. But in actual law, there's a lot more, right? A lot more stuff. Right, comments, and even like scholarship is even considered. Right. In determining whether the use made of a work in any particular case is a fair use, the factors to be considered shall be. So they have 4 factors. So YouTube said what? The purpose and the character of the use, the purpose of the character of the use, including whether such use is for commercial nature or is for non-profit. They are exactly quoting it from it, exact words. But of course, this thing over here is just them themselves expanding the definition. They're just explaining it to you. So this is not law, right? Don't consider this as law. Courts typically focus on whether the use of copyright protected material as transformative. This means whether the use adds new expression or meaning to the original material, or whether it merely copies from the original, right? Commercial use are less likely to be considered fair use, but it's still possible to monetize a video that contains fair use material, right? Again, how we should read these factors is they are not they are not check marks, as in, oh, so this one is, I would say it's a mistake to believe that if all 4 factors, as they point out here, has been checked, right, would be applicable, means that whatever you're doing is fair use. No. There is still the chance that it is applicable, but not 100% or something like that. Because these are just factors. Factors fluctuate depending on the proof, the evidence, the facts you have to satisfy these factors, right? That's why they say they added these things like commercial might be less considered for fair use, but still can be considered, right? Even if it's monetized. But then it is like it is a negative for you, negative factor for you to use fair use. If you were to try to justify whatever content you're using is not permitted to you while profiting from it, right? Also, this transformative is, I would say, something more of a court case, a court decision type of factor. Transformative, as far as I've understand from the cases that have tried to use this, is strictly defined. It's not, oh, transformative means things like people do on YouTube where they just either flip the entire video vertically, not vertically, horizontally, add a filter to the video, or add some sort of a logo or cuts or edits or anything like that to justify that it has to be transformative. Transformative usually means that the entire thing is totally changed, or so that you wouldn't even think that it is from the original work. It came from the original work in any proper sense. So that's that. But then again, don't take my words for it. Again, what I'm trying to say is not black and white. Transformative doesn't mean everything. Transformative is, strictly speaking, strictly defined, strictly considered. Anyhow, let's move on. Then they have to consider the nature of the copyright. Wait, of course there's commercial and non-profit. They do mention this general statement though. The purpose and character of the use, right? What are you using that content for, right? So the purpose and character of the use would have to go back to this for these purposes, as the section itself has mentioned. Let me highlight this. Oops. So purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teachings, scholarship, or research. So your content has to be within these purposes, nothing else, as per the US law, right? So your video can't be something like for satirical purposes, but then again, I would say satirical or comedy or like parody or stuff is governed under another law. But then again, if we are trying to use fair use, this is different. Fair use, criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research. So you have to find out whatever you're doing. Let's say you are trying to make a satire, like make fun of something, make fun of an idea, make fun of a person through art or through a video, through some sort of a artistic or creative way to express it, to express such criticism. Like example, satire or parody. So then we have to look into how much content you have used from that person or whatever that you're trying to parody, you're trying to make a satire out of, right? Not that easy when you think about it. When you think about all these things, like I understand a lot of content, a lot of videos, like talk about famous celebrities, famous cartoons, famous anime, everything, and sometimes they would use their characters, they will use the likeness of the celebrities, they will use the likeness of the stories, say something about it, and yeah, it is not an easy way to do this without having the risk of copyright infringement. And if you are not careful of it, and if you are found out, if those people found out that whoever you're trying to criticize or anything, for better or worse, with good intentions or bad intentions, they may consider legal actions against you, right? For a lot of reasons. But then again, yeah, not so easy when you think about it. Not so easy. So in the context of YouTube, what type of videos are are abundant? Reviews, right? A lot of reviews videos. So I would say criticism is within it, right? Criticism or commenting on whatever the videos that you are using without permission will fall within the parameters of criticism, on the first factor at least. All right. That's why a lot of people do reviews and review videos, and they are okay. They don't really have any problems. But then don't take my word for it. Make sure whatever review you're doing is not blatantly using the entire movie, or it is obvious you're not doing much of an editing, you're just putting the entire movie on and giving commentary on that movie, which is also not allowed, very, very not allowed, because it can be viewed as you giving an excuse to upload an entire movie or entire song or anything like that, to get views or to get people to watch, subscribe you or whatever. All right. So news reporting, obviously a lot of news channels are in YouTube, and they do provide actual news. Well, not it is whether it is a news that is biased or not, or misinformation. Stabbing at people, stabbing at people. I can't remember the phrase. Anyways, teaching, educational, a lot of those type of YouTube channels, which I would recommend. YouTube has a lot of entertaining stuff, but I would say look for those that are informative, like teaching you scientific stuff, teaching you artistic stuff, teaching you life lessons, life skills, social skills, teaching you about medical stuff, teaching you about how to cook, how to work things, how to repair things, all those. So many good videos on YouTube. Also teach you legal knowledge, legal skills, aka I do that as well. You know, I do I do educational video, shameless plugging in on my own on my own content. And scholarship. I am not clear on scholarship. Maybe this is something like doing some sort of a PhD thesis or something like that. Scholarship. I can't really say what is considered a scholarship, because what I understand, what is a scholarship is just people, basically companies are like offering you something, offering you sponsorship to go to a certain university, a certain college, or maybe this is also considered like a for you to do some sort of research, but then we already have research at the end over here. So yeah, I'm not so certain. But again, let's just move on, right? So then the second factor, nature of the copyrighted work. Using material from primarily factual works is more likely to be fair use than using purely fictional works. So from what YouTube is saying, at least, all right, is that they have to, this factor means that it has to be real in a sense. It has to be factual. It can be shown to be real, can be proven to be correct. It actually happened, all of that stuff. Using material from primarily factual works is more likely to be used than using purely fictional works. So they are talking about fictional works, I would say maybe art, maybe anime, maybe all those sort of things. Hello, Arion. Welcome, and I see you have your drain. Oh, is it pretty late now? Told you and saw you like my post. I see. Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty late, right? Or something over there. Get some rest. Get some rest. It's okay. So yeah, copyrighted work, nature of the copyrighted work. It's very vague in a sense. I mean, this is what YouTube is trying to say, probably based on some sort of cases to say that. But the section itself, the subsection section itself doesn't explain what is the nature of the copyrighted work, right? But yeah, it probably has to deal with common sense or rationality. As in, looking at this, would I say you're using this as fair use? You're using this under such purposes? You're using this with such purpose, right? Or you're just using it to entertain people, using it for not, so anything, right? Any of these four things goes back to this one, because this is the only thing that they say about when someone would be able to use fair use as a defense. Criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. So if it doesn't comply with nature of the copyrighted work used, then probably it is a negative for you. It's a con for you to use someone else's copyrighted work. Today I have to deal with paper assignment and could not find any empirical journal article related to the research. I did not eat dinner because of headache and stomachache was stress. Ooh. Pre-empirical journal article related to the research. That sounds like You're saying you can't find it on internet or something? Normally, all these things can be found by internet. If it is not possible to find in the internet, then your only best choice is to either look for your lecturer, look for your teacher, or the library. But then there is like not a really good way to find out. Empirical journal article. If let's say you are worried about finding out things that are not accurate, or finding what is it called? There's Google Scholar. I recommend, if you are like doing any research, doing any assignment for your projects, for your university, college, or anything, Google Scholar is very, very good to find sources that are peer reviewed, or at least authentic, or not misinformation, anything like that. Yeah, it is like Google, except it only searches search certain types of websites, like websites from universities, websites from medical departments, governmental departments, all that stuff. Hydrate. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. Read a role player. So yeah, nature of the copyrighted work. Everything, as far as how I would read this law, is all these factors has to lead back to this, the purposes. The amount of substantiality of the portion used in related to the copyrighted work as a whole. So this is about how much of that content you're using. Like I say, if let's say you were using that content using a movie, reviewing a movie, like most people do, reviewing a movie and using clips from a movie, then if we are talking about whether you can use fair use, then we have to see how much of that content from that movie you have used. I wouldn't say that, what I'm saying is true, but let's say maybe you just use clips from trailers, scenes from trailers to try and make your point. Maybe that's okay, maybe that's not okay, because trailers are in itself a different type of video, a video itself. So using clips from trailers isn't right as well. But then again, if you are somehow able to use, if you want to use clips from the movie itself, it depends on what you're trying to make a point of. Are you just randomly showing clips of the movies, or are you like trying to criticize a specific scene, a specific part of the movie? So you're using that clip, right? Maybe there's some sort of a dialogue you want to talk about, maybe, or some sort of special effects that the movie used you want to talk about, of cinematography you want to talk about. Then yeah, if you have a specific purpose and it is that purpose is aligned with what I have highlighted up here, criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research, then yes, that is fine. But of course, yeah, obviously, don't upload an entire movie, don't upload an entire episode of something, or an entire song, and then say it is for criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, all that stuff. You won't be, it is a negative factor, at least not a good one for this to determine, right? To determine whether you can use fair use. Anyhow, we need to see what YouTube has to say. So borrowing small bits of material from an original work is more likely to be considered fair use than borrowing large portions. But if what's borrowed is considered the heart of the work, sometimes even a small sampling may weigh against fair use. So yeah, a bit of what I said, but if let's say you took something which is very, very important, and we consider it to be the gist of the entire content that you are using, might be not good for you. All right, so then we have the last one. The effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work. So without looking at this, I can tell you that it is talking about whether your use of the copyrighted work without permission is going to affect the copyright holders financial use of it. In a way, they're saying like it will affect their sale of licenses, maybe, or sale of their product or service or whatever that is attached to that copyright. So yes, then it is very important to know about it. If let's say whatever content that you are trying to use, the third-party content that you use, like say, an obvious case would be something like doing a cover. No, cover songs will not be applicable for fair use. So yeah, if we are like trying to say cover songs is fair use, unless you can say it is for criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, or scholarship or research, you can't really use music and say you're covering it with your own stuff or anything. However you want to do it to justify. At the end, you can't apply to these purposes. You cannot protect yourself with fair use. So, yeah. But what I can say is, yeah, if let's say people flock to your videos instead of looking at the original place for the video or art or creative work, and thus affecting their profitability, then yeah, it is a consideration. It's a factor to determine whether it is considered fair use or not. Especially, even more so if you're using it for commercial purposes. So what does YouTube say? Uses that harm the copyright owner's ability to profit from their original work are less likely to be fair use. Courts have sometimes made an exception on this factor in case involving parodies. So yeah, parodies, satires, and all that stuff could be considered fair use because they are criticisms on something. But there is a lot of case laws on that. It's not as easy as simple as you think, right? Like you making fun of you trying to make fun of someone, or some celebrity or some fictional character, actually using their content, or actually drawing something based on their characters. Yeah, I mean, characters themselves can be copyrighted. That's one thing. Even if let's say you're not exactly using some clip, you're using some scenes. If you're using like say Disney's character, you're using Mickey Mouse, and you're not using any original clip from them, but you're using the character, that is considered copyright infringement. They own the rights to Mickey Mouse. So can't you just simply use Mickey Mouse to do anything? But then again, parody allows you to do it. That might be, but then yeah, I won't try to justify it so easily, because I've seen some people how they do parodies, how they do criticisms. They are not really pointing out anything. They are more like using the characters to make a skit, to do a scene, to do a funny story or a sketch. And I don't think that is considered fair use, at least for me. All right. But yeah, a lot of case laws into it. If you really want to look into what can be considered fair use in relation to parodies and satires and all that stuff, you can look it up. There's a lot of cases, a lot of interesting cases. I remember there's the what's that? It's a kid's story or something. Let me look for it. Let me see. Cat in the Hat? No, is that Cat in the with a hat? The Cat in the Hat. Yeah. The Cat in the Hat. Dr. Seuss. I think there was some sort of a parody or some sort of a satire happened. Someone tried to copy this Dr. Seuss book, art and stuff, and I think he wasn't successful to try and justify it as a parody. Or someone tried to use Star Wars to make a comic out of it. Yeah, and then try to justify it by saying it's parody or anything. They weren't able to be successful as well, so yeah. Oh no, don't die, Ariel, don't die. So that's that. That's fair use for you. And yeah. So pretty much they are just quoting exactly the word for word section 107. But of course, the fact that a work is unpublished shall not itself bar finding of fair use if such finding is made up considering all above factors. So they are also talking about, or even if any work is not published, as in for public consumption, right? It is still possible to use fair use. But I would say that is very, very, very specific. Also, nice hand motion. Speech homeworks. Ouch. Speech homeworks? How do you do speech homeworks? You record yourself or something? I've never heard of it. I never heard of such homework. I mean, I know there's like speech assignments and such, but not homework. Donald Duck meets Glenn. Okay, they are giving examples. Donald Duck meets Glenn back in Right Wing Radio Duck. Okay. This remix combines short excerpts from different sources materials. The remixes creates a new message about the effect of provocative rhetoric in times of economic crisis. Works that create new meaning for the source material may be considered fair use. Okay, this is interesting. So they're giving a real example of what is considered fair use. What does this mean?
To stay financially afloat while fat cats get richer and richer. It's not just a feeling, and you're not alone.
Okay.
Yeah, between a rich and poor in America is at an 80-year high. That's the largest differential since the period immediately preceding the Great Depression. The haves are getting more.
Okay.
The nots are getting less. Meanwhile, government isn't helping.
I see. So this is considered transformative? Interesting. I guess in a way they use it to try and then totally, but then wow, the entire thing is this episode, or I would say probably a combination of different Donald Duck episode. I have to be expert and look at those videos. The other one is where I have to record it later on. It's about informative speech. Ooh. To be expert and look at those videos. The other one is where I have to record it later on. It's interesting. Never Never have I done something like that before. What are you what are you actually studying, Arion? What subject is what I'm trying to ask. Anyhow, interesting. YouTube's fair use protection. YouTube gets many takedown requests to remove videos that copyright owners claim are infringing under copyright law. Sometimes these requests target videos that seems like clear examples of fair use. Courts have decided that copyright owners must consider fair use before they send a copyright takedown notice. Because of this, we often ask copyright owners to confirm they've done this analysis. Alright, even though they are saying this, right? Courts have told copyright holders to consider fair use before they send a copyright takedown. This doesn't mean they can't, right? It doesn't mean they can't. They can always say, yeah, they've considered fair use and they do not apply. They are not applicable under fair use. We are continuing our legal suit against them. So yeah, I mean, this is it. It doesn't mean you can use fair use, all right? You're safe in using fair use as a quote unquote shield first. In rare cases, we've asked creators to join an initiative that protects some examples of fair use on YouTube from copyright takedown requests. Through this initiative, YouTube indemnifies creators whose fair use videos have been subject to takedowns for up to 1 million of legal costs in the event that takedowns result in a copyright infringement lawsuit. What do you mean by an initiative that protects some examples of fair use on YouTube from copywriting? You don't really give me a what does this mean? The goal of this initiative is to make sure these creators have a chance to protect their work. It also aims to improve the creative world by educating on both the importance of limits of fair use. Wait, is the video available to me or is it intentionally not available to me? For example, check out Fair Use Protection playlist. What is this? What? There are no videos in this playlist yet? 8 unavailable. Okay. What? Alright. I have no idea. If you're in US, you can watch the videos we protected in this playlist. Unfortunately, if you're outside the US, you can't view the videos in this playlist. Okay. Yeah, it's fair, very fair, because whatever they are saying is considered fair use is only applicable for US. So very understandable that they don't let you see any in other countries what they are talking about. Then we have reinstated videos. While YouTube can't offer a legal defense to everyone, we remain vigilant about takedown notices impacting all creators. You may be aware of some notable cases where we've asked copyright owners to reconsider takedowns and reinstate fair use videos. For example, this video by the Young Turks, which shows short clips from a heavily criticized commercial as part of the conversation of why it offended viewers. Yes.
People are accusing Mountain Dew of creating one of the most racist and misogynist ads of all time. Slate.com reports that Mountain Dew...
Okay. So this is the commercial.
Alright, man, we got them all lined up. Nail this little sucker. Come on, which one is he? Point to him.
It's me. You should have gave me some more. I'm nasty.
What?
Keep your mouth shut. No. Keep your mouth shut. I'll get out of here and I'm gonna do you up. Keep your mouth shut. I can't do this. I can't do this.
Okay.
She's just gotta do it.
Yeah, that actually is the worst ad I've ever seen.
Alright. That is the weirdest commercial I've ever seen. It's more like it. Alright. I guess that is a... Yeah, it is considered criticism. I mean, yeah. We don't see why it's not. It's both criticism and news reporting. This video by Secular Talk, which criticizes a political video for endorsing an unproven treatment of diabetes. Okay. So they say these things like criticize. So of course it is allowed, and depending on how they present it, it's more likely justified. Buffy vs. Edward Twilight Remix, a remix video that compares the ways women are portrayed in two vampire-related works targeted at their teens. Okay, is this a long video or short video? It's quite a long video. But it's okay. I myself, I shouldn't really look at these videos because technically speaking, again, I do not own any rights to looking at these videos, so I shouldn't be viewing this, even though they are like informative for us to learn about what's fair use. But YouTube has not, or Twitch has not. No one has allowed me to use these videos for the purpose of my stream, right? If whether or not you can I consider my content, my live seminar as a education or not, I try not to do these things. All right. Try to what's that phrase? Anyways, yeah. But walk the talk or talk the walk? Walk the talk or talk the walk? I think it's walk the talk. Damn, I'm bad at phrases. No offense, a video uploaded by National Organization for Marriage, which uses a clip of a celebrity as an example of rude behavior. I guess. Educational. Criticism. What else? Commenting, news reporting, maybe. Right. More info. If you'd like to learn more about fair use, there are many resources available online. Following sites are for educational purposes only, and are not endorsed by YouTube. Center for Media and Social Impacts. Codes of best practices in fair use for online videos. The Digital Media Law Project's detailed explanation of the 4 factors. The US Copyright Office's Fair Use Index. What is this? Fair Use Index. Select jurisdiction or such cases. Okay. Yep. So many examples you can find. Fair use not found, fair use not found, fair use not found. Oh my god, there is a lot. And there is some fair use found. So you see, a lot of cases, a lot of copyright infringement cases is being done in, at least in US. Interesting. They didn't expect YouTube to have such a link. But good on them. I really like how YouTube does the legal things, handle all the legal things. Good morning from them. Oh, Lilac, you're back. Hello. Sorry, I didn't see you there. I need to really... Okay, I clip my goddamn phone so I can see. I'm sorry, I hope I'm not too late in responding to your message, but hello, welcome back. How is your day? I'm guessing you're going to work soon, like last time. But yeah. Last time, no, yeah, it was just yesterday, right? Wait, no. Yesterday, it was yesterday, 2 days ago. Oh yeah, it was 2 days ago, man, my time perception. Anyhow, that's fair use. If you have any questions about fair use, let me know, right? Wait, they have FAQ. Let me look at the FAQ. Fair use is a legal doctrine that says you can reuse copyright protected material until blah blah blah. How does fair use work? What's constituted fair use? What does fair use apply? How does content ID work with fair use? I think we talked about this all already. Yeah, when does fair use apply? Crediting the owner, copyright owner, posting a disclaimer like no infringement intended, or adding original content to someone else's content doesn't automatically make something fair use. Users that try to substitute the original work, instead of commenting on or criticizing are unlikely to be considered fair use. Users that try to substitute the original work instead of commenting on or criticizing it are unlikely to be considered fair use. Yeah, so... No, your streams are 2 hours ago, and that is pretty normal for you. Oh, okay. But yeah, don't assume that I see this done in a lot of music videos which they don't own, or compilation of music like what I'm listening right now. They always put in their description somewhere, they say I do not own this music. I didn't intend to infringe any copyright. But the thing is, that's not how laws work. That's not how copyright laws work, unfortunately. And no work today. Going to a little photo shoot later, so able to watch and chat a bit longer than this. Ooh, a photo shoot. That sounds very interesting. What kind of photo shoot, Mas? If you are not comfortable in saying it, it's fine. But quite interesting. I don't see a lot of people. Are you a model or something? Sounds interesting. But anyways, yeah. I'm talking about copyright stuff right now. So, yeah, there's nothing in law that's in relation to copyright, right, that makes you magically immune to legal suits or repercussions or consequences of doing something such as copyright infringement. All right, you're not saying it's like those people. They say how do you say? With respect, how do you say things like with due respect, or no offense, but when people say something like that, if they feel like the things that they're gonna say won't be disrespectful or offensive, so something like that, I would say. Doesn't make sense. Well, I'm pretty open about it, but not sure I should write it in here. And then it's for a little studio that asks for people to model for free. Ooh, interesting. Such a studio. But okay, no problem. You can talk about it anywhere you like. But yeah, let's just focus on copyright right now. Anyway, so yeah, don't use this. Don't think whatever you're doing, all right, like this, crediting the copyright owner. Yes, I told people who this art came from, so I can use it. There is not a fair use, and also but you saying no infringement intended, no offense intended, no disrespect intended, no discrimination intended. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. But yeah, doesn't mean it's considered fair use. Now, how does content ID work with fair use? Does it? If you upload a video containing copyrighted content without the copyright owner's permission, you could end up with a content ID claim. The claim will keep you from monetizing the video, even if you only use a few seconds, such as a short uses of popular songs. Automated systems like Content ID can't decide with fair use. Yep, so yeah, doesn't content ID work doesn't tell you whether something is fair use because it's subjective, case by case decision that only courts can make. All right. While we can't decide on fair use or mediate copyright disputes, fair use can still exist on YouTube, right? If you believe that your video falls under fair use, you can defend your position through the content ID dispute process. This decision shouldn't be taken lightly. Sometimes you may need to carry that dispute through the appeal and DMCA counter notification process. If both you and claimant try to monetize the video under dispute, the video will still monetize until the dispute is resolved. Then we'll pay out the accrued earnings to the appropriate party. So yeah, they're telling you, if you believe something is under fair use, YouTube won't do anything. They will tell you to do your own stuff, like make the dispute that it is based on fair use, right? YouTube won't consider your video fair use manually or automatically through their content ID system, right? You have to fight it on yourself. That means literally fight in court, because it would be not, the situation will not be you just like having a argument with the copyright holder. More or less, you have to maybe you might come to a compromise, a settlement, but if you really think you're right, it will always end up in some sort of a legal dispute. All right, a legal dispute that involves the courts to decide who is right. There's no such thing as I argued better than you, so you should follow my decision or something like that. No. That's not lost. Arguments don't work. Legal disputes don't work like that. Options you can take to resolve claims outside the dispute process. Easiest way to deal with content ID claims is to avoid them in the first place. Yeah. Don't use copyrighted material unless it's essential to your video. Check out the YouTube audio library for music that's free of charge or to use it in your videos. If you choose to get music from other royalty-free or licensing sites, be sure to read the terms and conditions carefully. Some of these services may not give rights to use or monetize the music on YouTube, so you could still end up with a content ID claim. If you get a content ID claim for music that isn't essential to your video, try removing it or swapping it out with copyright-safe tracks from the audio library. You can always upload an entirely new edit of the video without the claimed content at the new URL. Am I protected by fair use if I gave credit to the copyright owner? Transformativeness is usually key in fair use analysis. Giving credit to the owner of a copyrighted work won't by itself turn a non-transformative copy of their material into fair use. Phrases like all rights go to the author and I do not own don't automatically mean you are making fair use of that material. They also don't mean that you have the copyright owner's permission. Yes, yeah, they're putting it very professionally. If I was like, people ask me this, no, I'll just give a simple answer, no. I can also imagine a VTuber get caught in something and just running in there, object. Nah, I don't do that. It's very rude to do that, actually. At least personally, I would say. I have a lot of mutuals, all right? I have a lot of mutuals that do blatantly copyright infringement stuff, but I don't call out on that. For myself, I believe in, at least in this legal, within my community, right? That I believe that you're responsible for your own actions. So if you're related to me, or if you somehow know me or acquainted with me, and you decide not to listen to me or decide not to heed my warnings and all that such, I only would warn people, I would only caution people if they ask me to, right? I wouldn't like go to like someone's channel and then, hey, you're doing a cover song. No, you can't do that. It's illegal. You might be right. You might be correct, but you would definitely sound pretty, how to say, obnoxious and unwarranted. Because I'm not the police. I'm not some sort of a authoritative figure. I'm not Twitch. I'm not acting on behalf of Twitch or anyone. I'm just someone who is knowledgeable in law, right? If people want to listen to me, they will listen to me. If people don't want to listen to me, they don't listen to me. If people listen to me and still do the things that have considerable legal risks, that is their discretion. That is discretion. If they found themselves in some sort of a legal dispute because of those actions, then they will have to deal with it. They have to resolve it on their own. I have no responsibility over what other people are doing. I only have my own responsibility within my own power to do anything. If let's say it is my content, it is part of my content or related to my content, then I will have to say something about it. If they are just streamers, if they're just my friends or they're just my acquaintances or anything like that, whatever they are doing is up to them, to their liking. They can be doing it for various reasons. Maybe it is their only way to monetize something, to be entertaining, to be to express themselves, to be happy or anything. If that is what their reasons are, feel free to do all those things. It is not my position to say you have to obey the law. You can disobey the law. I'm not the judge. I am not the police. I'm not your politician. You're not your elected governor or whoever it is. I only can caution you as a friend, as a mutual, when you want to listen to it, when you want my advice. But yeah, it's not. I won't be like, oh, you're doing reactionary videos, or you're playing Sam Smith songs, or you're playing this K-pop idol music or whatever, or like you're literally watching a movie on Twitch or YouTube. I don't want to be related to you anymore. No. It doesn't matter to me. Me being friends with people who do that, or VTubers who do that, doesn't mean I support what they do. I just have in this sense, I in full support of freedom of expression. freedom of expression, freedom of whatever you want to do. But of course, there are consequences, and you bear the consequences when it does come. All right. Anyway, that's pretty much my stance on it. So yeah. Yeah. Don't be a moral police is my point. Don't be a moral police. People don't police your content. You don't police other people's content. Right. I posted a disclaimer on my video. There aren't any magic words to automatically apply fair use when you use someone else's copyrighted work, including the phrase "no infringement intended" won't automatically protect you from a claim of copyright infringement. Yep, no magical words. I'm using the content for entertainment or non-profit uses. Courts will carefully review the purpose of your use in evaluating whether it's fair. Declaring your upload to be for entertainment purposes only, for example, is unlikely to tip the scales in a fair use balancing test. Similarly, non-profit users are favored in the fair use analysis, but it's not an automatic defense by itself. I think whoever wrote this is probably some sort of with a legal background. Someone at least good at doing research, at least legal research. So props to them, like explaining this. I would also explain it like this as well. So yeah. But on a side note, if let's say you see this a lot, You see this a lot in either doctors or lawyers' content. Whenever they make content, whenever they make videos, they always, even myself, we always put a disclaimer. And we always say, whatever we give, whatever our opinions are, whatever our advice is, or whatever we are telling people about in whatever situation, whatever question they want us to give an opinion on, we always say it's just for educational purposes. It is not professional in any way, in the sense that we are not making a professional relationship with you. We're not giving you professional advice as a lawyer. We are not making a client and lawyer relationship with you. No official contract is made between us by me telling you what you should be doing or shouldn't be doing, or what my advice would be, what I would personally do, and all of that such. Even in my channel, I did put that. Which is, I think down there. Anyone that's looking is probably, did he put it something about? Yeah, I did. I even put it in my YouTube channel. I put it in my Discord server. Anyway, also even in my business cards. Take quote unquote business card. It's just a, what's it called? Card, a CRLD or something, profile, whatever. But yeah, I did say that. So any information, I wrote it as any information, help or guidance given to you anywhere within J-Clyde's social accounts platforms should not be relied upon. You and J-Clyde will never create a professional relationship of client and lawyer of any legal capacity. You should not treat yourself as a customer or client to me, and you are encouraged to seek legal qualified professionals in a formal and legal capacity. I would say that. But yeah, because that is it's a thing. It's actually a thing that happens for lawyers. At least for lawyers. At least what I've heard. And there are actual cases on it where people have relied on advisors, not by lawyers, of course. Sometimes it's not lawyers, sometimes it's just some sort of legal expert or some expert in other fields, maybe a tax consultant or something like that. There are famous cases on it where people have sat on, like, in a restaurant, in a cafe, in a very casual place environment, and ask for some sort of advice on a certain matter. So those people those people who listened to those advice relied on it and had some sort of a consequence, not consequence, found themselves in trouble, or found themselves in trouble, some found themselves in some sort of danger because of those advice, and they are like, damn, if it weren't for this advice that I relied on, I wouldn't be in this situation. So those kind of people eventually think that it's true, or maybe it is true. They went on and sue lawyers, sue those experts that gave them the advice. So yeah, that is something that actually happens, and that is why we have to protect ourselves when we give advice in any form, any way, in any environment, just to be safe. All right, even if, let's say, you are like in a beach somewhere with your friend, with some stranger or someone, they know you somehow, you're a lawyer, and they ask you something, you have to tell them, I'm on a vacation right now. What am I telling you is telling you as a friend only. Don't put it, don't use it, don't try to rely on it. And as always, if you really need some sort of advice to rely on in a legal capacity, official legal capacity, go to my office when I'm working or something like that. Go to my office. I'll prepare a proper advice, statement, research everything, and pay me for it. Pay me for my time for giving you a proper advice. But of course, yeah. For me, nothing I've said or nothing I've done should be considered advice, legal advice. In a sense, in a professional sense, in a sense that you should be relying on my advice. As always, I always tell people, do their own research, ask your local actual lawyers on these things, and if you want them to be concrete, or as in you can rely on them comfortably, get it as a professional advice rather than a casual friendly advice. So yeah, that's that. Anyhow, a bit of a tangent, but we're going back to this FAQ. I added original material I created to someone else's copyrighted work. Even if you added something to someone else's content, your use might still not be considered a fair one. If your creation doesn't add any new expression, meaning, or message to the original, it probably isn't fair use. As with all the other cases discussed here, courts will consider all factors of the fair use test, including the quantity of the original use. Alright. So, I think that's about it. There's also... Right. We're going back to this one again now. That's all about fair use. I think quite a big chunk of it is just about fair use. For someone who comes from a very small country, I honestly do not understand a lot of those stories we hear from around the world of people suing others for weird and random stuff. The world is a very weird place, and also there are a lot of weird people who has a lot of money and a lot of time, and think they are completely right, or so that, you know, if they have the money, if they have the time, lawyers, there are some lawyers who would still reject these kind of cases because of how crazy it is, or how unreasonable it is, or how problematic to have these sort of cases. But some people, some law firms, some lawyers just don't care about it. They just care about the money. It's not how to say, false. A lot of other lawyers really do just think about the money. They don't think about like doing justice or doing the right thing or anything like that. A lot of lawyers just become lawyers because it is as long as you put up the hard work, the effort, and you're talented, it is like any other sort of a business you can do. And to do business, there's just things that you have to sacrifice, right? I'm not gonna say too much in a way that might implicate anyone, but yeah, I myself have known or are aware that lawyers deal with things that are not ethical, so say the least, or at least methods that are not ethical, even though it's not illegal. So yeah, it is sad how suing has become some kind of free time hobby. For the rich, it is something that they can easily do. But of course, that is a problem with the legal system in most countries. It is still a very large problem, and it's a very big issue where the poor doesn't get much justice as opposed to the ones that are wealthy, right? The wealthy normally has connections. It's not just about money, right? It's about connections as well. The wealthy has connections. The poor has no knowledge what to do in this type of situation. So where would they even begin, even if they can save up some money or accumulate some money to use to fight against something that they generally is in the right. Instead, we have a lot of situations where the poor gets pressured to do certain things because the rich are able to take the initiative to file writs or file summons. Basically initiate a legal suit against someone. It's not expensive to initiate a legal suit. It is very expensive if you want to take the legal suit to the trials, all different stages of the legal process in the legal suit. So that is why, quite unfortunately, that is the reality of suing people. How easy it is for people to sue, rich people to sue other people. But then the bright side, if you have connections, if you're able to have connection, if you know people, you have friends, hopefully your friends are at least aware that there are some things if let's say we're talking about employment issues, right? Employment rights. There are governmental authorities, government departments where they help the employees, and there doesn't need to be a requirement of hiring of a lawyer. If it's a clear-cut case of not paying your salary, not treating you, abusing you in the work environment, all that stuff, clear-cut cases, these sort of governmental departments is not courts. They can quite quickly determine the case, whether there is wrongdoing or not. So yeah, in a way, what I'm trying to do is this. I'm trying to tell people, don't wait for people to sue you. Don't wait for those rich people to sue you. Don't wait for anyone to sue you, because that is the worst case scenario. Make sure you have things to prepare for it before it happens, or at least know where to look for when it happens. And best would be preventing it from happening. And that is why I always say it's important to know some legal skills, basic legal skills, basic legal knowledge. All right, learning how to read contracts, learning what is important as an employee, what an employer should be doing, what the government should be doing for you, how the government operates, right? How taxes are being used, how laws are enforced and not enforced, all types of things, because everything involves laws. Even in hospital where you get medicine, if you get mistreated with a weird thing or poisoned yourself, or get all those things also involve laws, right? And there's also domestic abuse, all that sort of thing involves laws as well. Discrimination, oh man, all the bad stuff that people do, there are laws governing around it, hopefully, and they will be able to protect you, right? There's also associations, lawyer associations that do volunteer work, help the poor fight certain cases on human rights and stuff. Only have to know the connections. You need to find someone who knows the connections. And with our age of the internet, it shouldn't be too hard, right? It shouldn't be too hard. Just need to reach out. I am no way saying I'm the best to look for, but I'm trying to start something, to start a way for people to be able to look for these things, right? That's why I do these live seminars. And instead of just talking specific corporate stuff, I'm talking about certain legal stuff, legal things that we should really be aware of, right? how lawyers think is really might be idealistic, as always. When I say this, I always think that everyone should be able to think like a lawyer, at least in the basic sense of like having some sort of critical thinking, critical skills, approaching matters, approaching problems with a very, very pinpoint accuracy, surgical accuracy, right? Reading through documents, reading through what people say, the facts, fact-checking stuff, being reasonable, being rational, being logical, being scientifically minded, being, and not just that, right? Not just that. You have to be kind as well, considerate, empathetic. That's part of critical thinking of for other people's, because normally we only always think for ourselves. So being able to think in other people's shoes, knowing what they go through, what they suffer, how they do things, is important for critical thinking. So then you don't form any sort of a bias against people. I normally live my life through golden words. Don't do stupid. If it was that easy, like if it was that easy, because you know, people who do things because they think, they do stupid things because they think it is smart, it is the intelligent thing to do. So yeah, but for me it's more of a not just critical thinking. It's I would say my priority is always empathy. Do no harm. My ultimate priority in whoever I socialize with or whoever I deal with, it is always try to see if I can first not do any harm to that person. Even if I'm right, even if I am totally correct or logical or rational or anything, I have to think whether that is worth it. Whether that would hurt them, or would that would being right actually hurt them, or actually be worse being right if it doesn't really benefit anyone, right? Like I said about the thing where I don't go to other VTubers streams or channels and tell them what they are doing is wrong, is because doing the right thing is not good enough. Doing the right thing would provide more harm than being wrong. Or not being wrong, or not being wrong, or more like being tolerant, being accepting of whatever other people is doing, right? Because I wouldn't think that my friends, my acquaintances are in any way haven't considered all those things. We are all most likely very mature adolescents or adults, and we are able to think things through what we are doing. We know what we want in our lives. We know our goals. We have a certain degree of caution in our lives. So me just randomly going to other people's place, tell them what's right is wrong, just makes me sound like I have no consideration of what who the person is as a whole, but their personality, their background, their beliefs, their perspectives, all that stuff. So yeah, that's why I don't cast judgment or without any sort of a provocation, as they say. Anyhow, that's fair use. Let's go on and say making claims. So when I talk about copyright, YouTube's copyright policies, I'm talking about everything. We can even see how YouTube deals with copyright claims. right? How can rights holders make copyright claims? Everyone has access to YouTube's copyright management tools, which gives rights holders control of their copyrighted material on YouTube. We work with rights holders to match them to appropriate features based on the scale of their copyrighted content on YouTube and the resources they've dedicated to responsibly manage their content online. Our copyright management suite provides a number of ways rights holders can make copyright claims. So they are talking about the copyright holders, not necessarily content creators, in using this copyright management tool. So they are telling to the people who actually own the music, own the videos, own the movies, and all that stuff. And how you can do this, how can you quote unquote fight against these people who are using your content without permission. So this is on the other side of the spectrum now. We're talking about people who wants to make sure their stuff is not being used without their permission. But I don't think it has a lot to say about this, but to give you an understanding, right? Let's look at this Wikipedia page. I probably won't tell you anything about this, what this is about. Like go through the entire Wikipedia of what the DMCA is. Heading to bed right now, no problem. Arion, thank you. Have a good night. Train to pieces, have a good night. Go sleep, all right? Arion, go to sleep. See you when I see you, all right? Tomorrow. Tomorrow is what? Tomorrow is Friday. Yeah, tomorrow is Good Friday Day. Anyhow, see you tomorrow or whenever. Right, so DMCA. People hear a lot about about DMCA this, DMCA that, but do you actually know what is a DMCA? Right? I think people don't really know that it stands for Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Well, at least for me, when I first heard that word, I was like, why do people say DMCA like it is some sort of an act that people do? I just got DMCA'd. DMCA-ED. I guess it's a slang now. But yeah, DMCA is a law by the United States, right? That was like implemented due to treaties, international treaties, right? I mean, international treaties means a bunch of countries have came together and agreed to use this as laws for their country, for their specific country, but they are not really laws per se until they have been. The word we use is ratified, meaning say create a law based on these treaties. So yeah. DMCA is US's copyright law in regards to online platforms, online service platform providers, or however you want to call them. The websites, the people that provide some sort of a platform for people to upload content, which they have to follow, which they have to comply with. So the thing about before this treaty, before the MCA, is that YouTube, if let's say YouTube existed in an era with where there is no DMCA, where there is no such law, it meant that copyright holders would sue YouTube, would sue Twitch directly without any problems. Even though YouTube or Twitch were not the ones that are infringing the right, are not uploading the uploading or streaming the contents that would be considered copyright infringement, they were susceptible to legal suits. So because that is very impractical in the online era of things, then almost every place has some type of upload capabilities, uploading content capabilities, whether it's videos, pictures, art, music, audio, anything. Lots of different sites have this sort of thing. So if those online platform providers were not able to safely provide this sort of service, provide this sort of platform, they would not do this sort of service at all. because they would be always have to micromanage people in whatever content they are uploading, which is impossible at that time. Of course, 1998. Before that, most likely they don't even have that sort of a technology yet. So yeah, so for the entire world to resolve this problem is they made this. They made the DMCA through the Treaties of World Intellectual Property Organization, right? A treaty made by this organization. Anyhow, with this DMCA, these platforms, YouTube, Twitch, are able to have people upload content to their platform without worry, as long as they do certain things, and they will be not liable for any copyright infringement that people do in their platform. So what is those things? Well, one thing is this, what YouTube is doing, letting copyright holders do the thing they can do, which is directly making copyright claims against those people who actually upload content. And after they did their claims, YouTube is supposed to take actions on these claims, primarily either removing the video or transferring the revenue to the rightful copyright owners, or do anything else, whatever it takes to remove the content, either mute it or suspend your channel, anything that would satisfy the DMCA law, right? The laws in DMCA. But yeah, that is pretty much how I would explain DMCA, and that's why people use it like it's a thing that they do, because a lot of those copyright claims or copyright strikes are done under the DMCA, and there would be a form for it. Such. So this is why they say web form. The simplest way they provide this thing. The simplest way to have unauthorized copies of copyrighted content removed is by manually submitting a copyright notification through our DMCA web form. This tool is best for most users. It is open to everyone and available in every language. So let's see what this form is like. So yeah, anyone can access this, and they can add videos to get it removed, right? So this is the form, and you have to put in details to make sure that you're the actual copyright owner, right? But this is still the problem with this is there's a lot of possibility. It opens the possibility, the risks of fraudulent copyright claims. So it has happened a lot, and in very, very seriousness. For example, if anyone doesn't know who Bungie is a company who created developed a famous game called Halo, as well as Destiny, I believe. What was interesting was someone impersonated Bungie. They impersonated Bungie and copyright claimed a lot of video on YouTube, even Bungie's official YouTube channel, saying all these videos were not given permission to use this content. So yeah, this system isn't the best, but is what we have, and it's not our problem really. It's more like not a problem to resolve, but a problem we should be to be wary of, because this means that even if, let's say, if you do something like uploading music, uploading things that are not yours, totally considered copyright infringement. And some guy just pretends to be the copyright owner and copyright claim your video. Now, of course, the guy who did that is wrong, but now since you're like in quote unquote in the public's eye, can you argue your case? Can you argue that you're not doing something wrong yourself? Yeah. So that's a problem. That's a risk of using other people's content. Yeah, so I don't think we really need to say much, but other than, yeah, this form lets you, what makes it so you, copyright holders can remove videos as well as do a bunch of other things. Right? Send a 7 days notice. Request removal now. Yeah, these removals can lead to a copyright strike. YouTube processes this video after validating the request. 7 days to remove the video and avoid the copyright strike. So can give the person either 7 days or immediately remove the video. Prevent copies of this video from appearing on YouTube going forward. If your takedown request is valid, YouTube will make its best effort to prevent new uploads from appearing on the platform. Yeah. Legal agreements. Okay, so this is the part where it is useless. This is just yeah, I'm the copyright holder. I'm not saying I'm not. So this is useless, right? Agreeing to this doesn't really get you off the hook if you are able to hide yourself in terms of if you're trying to impersonate someone else. Yeah, there's flaws with this. Flaws with this problem. It's more towards YouTube's problem, and they need to resolve it. Anyhow, that's web form, and we have Copyright Match 2. The Copyright Match 2 uses the power of Content ID matching technology to find re-uploads of videos on YouTube. Available to over 1.5 million channels, it identifies near full re-uploads of a creator's original videos on other YouTube channels and allows the creator to use an action to take. They can request the removal of video, message the uploaded video, or simply archive the match if they do not want to take any action. Any user with demonstrated history of successful DMCA takedowns via our web form can apply for access using our public form. So apparently this is not something that is available. Wait. Not available to everyone. It has to be applied for. But yeah, they're just saying they have an automated system for content creators themselves, people who upload videos on YouTube, and if someone else is uploading the same your video somewhere else, some other channel, this is the thing that you should use. This is the Copyright Match tool that you should be using. Right, so then we have Content ID. Content ID is our solution for those with the most complex rights management needs. It is our digital fingerprinting system that allows right holders to upload content they have exclusive rights to as a reference files, and then scan videos uploaded to YouTube for matches of that content. When a user uploads content, Content ID scans against the database for matching videos. If there is a match, then an action is taken based on the predefined rules or policies that the content owner sets themselves. Block a whole video from being viewed. Creators do not receive a copyright strike if the content owner blocks a video. Monetize the video by running ads against it, in some cases sharing revenue with the uploader. Track the video's viewership statistics. In most cases, this means that rights holders don't need to submit copyright claim, copyright takedowns for these videos, and instead have the opportunity to monetize and run ads in exchange for the videos being live. Right. So this is the thing. The main thing which YouTube is is a platform where copyright holders are okay with, is that they automatically identify content that is not owned by that person, by whoever has registered their copyrights with this ID system. So not for us lowly content creators, but for those that are probably big companies that uses this, most likely to pay for it to get to be in the system. Yeah. But in any case, if you get caught in the content ID, this is the things that we would do. Right, block your video from being viewed, but it doesn't mean it is copyright strike. So that's something. And if you are if the video is running monetization, and it will all go to the actual owner or share with the uploader. Sometimes monetize the video by running ads against it, tracks the video's viewership statistics. But I need to caution you, all right? Caution anyone that's reading this content ID. Even though this is not serious, right? Not serious as in your videos won't be your channel won't be suspended, you won't get copyright strike or anything like that. It is not something you should just disregard, right? You are still susceptible for getting this done against you, quote unquote DMCA'd. You could get DMCA'd, right? DMCA means your video is removed. Not only your video is just removed, you are getting a copyright strike. And getting a copyright strike is bad. It's very, very bad. All right. I've talked about copyright strike a lot, but suffice to say, I'm just gonna tell you, 1, 2, 3, you're out. 3 strikes and you're out. You're totally gone. Your everything is gone. So getting 1 is already a kind of a permanent stain on you already, because even let's say the first strike gets removed from record, from your eyes, they probably still do have records in their own YouTube system. And YouTube is partially managed by real people. They will consider past infringements or past mistakes, past breaches, as consideration to either to take more serious action. Rather than doing the 3 strike system, they might just delete your channel. They might just delete your account. So that's the risk. That's the risk. All right, anyway, enforcing copyright. So that's the thing we're going to be talking about a bit. Copyright strikes. If a copyright owner submits a valid DMCA complaint through our web form, we take down the video and apply a copyright strike. If a user gets 3 copyright strikes in 90 days, their account, along with any associated channels, will be terminated. We also have tools to help your music. Right, more music. Alright. I really like Great Ace music. It's a really allows me to focus. It really allows me to focus on doing these things. So yeah, we also have tools to help creators resolve their copyright strikes, including waiting for it to expire after 90 days, requesting a retraction, or submitting a counter notification. So yeah, there are things you can do when you get a copyright strike, but again, don't wait for it wait for yourself to get copyright striked. Don't prevent yourself from getting strike in the first place by not uploading content that is not yours. Anyhow, continue. Content ID works differently. If a match between a reference file and a new upload is made, the claim is made. Based on the preferences selected by content ID owner, we'll apply a policy to track, monetize, or block, but will not issue a copyright strike. So yeah, like I said before, content ID doesn't do copyright strike, but still, people can still quote-unquote DMCA you if they wanted to. So of course we have to learn more about copyright strikes. which I think I've talked about this. Either I talked about this or in one of my videos. But let's see. Copyright strike basics. This content is about copyright strikes. If you're looking for the okay, never mind. Don't read that. If you get a so community guideline strikes is different copyright strikes, right? But they work the same. 3 strikes and you're out. 3 strikes and you're out. If you get a copyright strike, it means the copyright owner submitted a complete and valid legal takedown request for using their copyright protected content. When you get this type of form of notification, we take down your video to comply with copyright law. A video can only have 1 copyright strike at a time. Keep in mind that videos can be removed from the site for reasons other than copyright. Also, content ID claims don't result in a strike. Just explain whatever has been explained previously. What happens when you get a copyright strike? We all make mistakes. When you get a copyright strike, it acts as a warning. Oh yeah. I think this pops out when you do get a copyright strike. It's something that they will let you know for you to determine what to do. The first time you get a copyright strike, you need to go to copyright school. Copyright school helps creators understand copyright and how it's enforced at YouTube. Copyright strikes may affect your ability to monetize. In addition, if your active live stream is removed for copyright, your access to live streaming will be restricted for 7 days. So apparently, this is a thing as well, both in Twitch and YouTube. When you're live streaming something that is not permitted, you don't have permission for it by the relevant content creators or copyright holders, you can get striked apparently, and you will not be able to live stream for 7 days. Very interesting. I'm not sure it happened before. Probably it has happened, but yeah. If you get 3 copyright strikes, your account, along with any associated channels, is subject to termination. All the videos uploaded to your account will be removed. You can't create new channels. So that is a very serious offense, you know, copyright strikes. Especially, you know, if you're like, for those that don't use content without permission, you still have to be wary of this. You know, there are fraudulent copyright strikes or strikes that are made in mistake, made in error. So yeah, make sure you resolve anything that you have within your channel. Not wait until 3 strikes come and then cry wolf. Courtesy period. If your channel is part of a YouTube partner program, you're eligible for a 7-day courtesy period. After 3 copyright strikes, you have 7 additional days to act before your channel is disabled. During this period, your copyright strikes won't expire and you can't upload new videos. Your channel will remain live and you can access it to seek a resolution for your strikes. If you submit a content notification, your channel won't be disabled while the content notification is unresolved. If the content notification is resolved in your favor or the claim is retracted, your channel won't be impacted. So they are saying for people who are partners of YouTube, they have a better benefit. I wouldn't say a benefit. An extra lifeline for you to get back on track. But yeah, all right, let's move on. How do you get info about your strike? Sign in to YouTube Studio. From the left menu, click Content. Filter for copyright claims. However, over copyright claim in the restriction columns, click See Details. Resolve a copyright strike. Wait for it to expire. Yeah. Get a retraction. You can get in touch with persons who claim your video and ask them to retract their claim of copyright infringement. Submit a counter notification. If you think your video was removed by mistake or qualifies as fair use, you can submit a counter notification. Want to learn more? Check out the following video, blah 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 blah, learn the basics of copyright strikes. Yeah, I probably don't really need to learn more. I pretty much will very how do you say, informative. dispute a content ID, appeal a content ID claim, monetizing the content ID dispute, submit a copyright content notification, respond to a content notification, requirements for counter. What is a manual claim? Should we talk about this? Is this considered? Not really. Under copyright policies? It is kind of. Right, we can learn about it. But we'll go through here instead. After submitting, so retract a claim of copyright infringement. After submitting a copyright takedown request, a copyright owner may change their mind or realize they have misidentified content. When this happens, the copyright owner can retract their claim of copyright infringement. Oh yeah, so this isn't for the content creator. This is for the person who is issuing the takedown. Right. The retractions will resolve the copyright strike for the uploader of the content that was taken down. Unless the uploader already deleted content, a retraction will restore the content to YouTube. If you submitted a takedown request in error, you can retract your copyright infringement claim by sending an email to copyright@youtube.com. Your email should be sent from the same email address or corporate domain you used to submit your original takedown request. If the email address is different, it may not be blah blah. Okay, this is very technical stuff. I don't think we need to really learn this. This is just the method in how we have to deal with these things. So yeah, pretty much we have covered everything. Requirements of a non-copyright developer, requirements of non-copyright notifications. We've pretty much covered how YouTube deals with copyright stuff. Safeguarding copyright. How does YouTube protect copyright content? Yeah, this is all repeating the same thing. Learn more about YouTube's copyright management, blah blah blah. Copyright, Yep. It's quite short. YouTube's copyright is rather short indeed. So yeah, those will be a short stream as well then, I guess. So if anyone has any questions, I'll be taking a maybe like 5-minute break and then get back to y'all. And in the meantime, if you do have questions, please just ask them. You don't have to be shy, right? I won't be mad at you asking any question. I'll try to answer them as seriously as possible and as understandable as possible, right? And if you're really shy, I have this. I have Telenomeme. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Basically, you can anonymously ask questions over there if you want to, right? I'll be taking a 5-minute break and be back. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm back. All right, so no questions. I will be ending the stream now. So thank you so much for watching this live seminar. This today's legal investigations. I hope everyone is having a good day. Learned something or two from this investigations. I've learned quite a bit actually. And it's good to revise a few things I already know. And yeah, I hope it'll be useful for you. And as always, next week we'll do another legal investigations, and we're gonna check out what other legal documents we want to investigate. But for now, we will have to say our goodbyes. Bye. So as always, whenever I end my streams, I will be how do you say, raiding someone, and then gonna see who we can raid. All right, let's see. I think we can raid Ihara. Yeah, we'll raid Ihara. I think this one has been streaming for a long time. Ihara, wait, Ihara, how long are you streaming? Three hours. 3 hours. Yeah, I guess so. We'll do Ihara then. Alright, let's go. We'll be raiding Ihara. Ihara is a VTuber as well. Supposedly a demon VTuber. Yeah, demon. A succubus demon. She has wings and stuff on the horns, so yeah, kind of. Anyways, we're going there now. I'm not going to do good job at convincing you, aren't I? Anyways, wait, there's something. What's this? Chat highlights. Okay, never mind. Not new. I already know that. Ihara 00. Oh, underscore 00. Alright. So we're going over there now. Anyways, take care. Stay hopeful. Be critical, alright? Tomorrow is Friday, so I'll be playing some spooky game. Not really anymore. It's kind of more actually fantasy rather than spooky horror. But yeah, it's a game called Ghostwire. All right, we'll be learning it. We'll be in the famous city of Shibuya in Tokyo, learning all sorts of things. And probably in the first moment of when I play the game, I'm going through all the things I've collected and just read through the descriptions of food, folklores, and places and all that stuff. All right. Okay, take care. Bye-bye, everyone. It's been nice. A little way for your